Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you guys how to make sopes with ground beef and green salsa. So in case you guys want to learn how to make this super easy and delicious recipe, just stay tuned and I'll show you how. Alrighty guys, so let's get started with our ingredients. So for this recipe we're going to need 1 pound of ground beef, 3 potatoes, 3 small roma tomatoes, 5 chile serranos or jalapeños, 1 handful of cilantro, 1 garlic clove, a half of a sliced onion, 4 cups of instant corn masa, half of a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1/4 of a cup of vegetable oil, canola oil for frying, 2 teaspoons of garlic salt, 1 teaspoon of cumin, salt, black pepper, 3 1/4 of a cup of warm water, and your choice of toppings. So these are our ingredients. Now let's get started. Alright, so first we're going to start by grabbing a small saucepan and we're going to add our tomatoes and our chiles. We're going to remove the stems. And we're also going to add our garlic clove. So now we're just going to add enough water to cover our tomatoes and we're going to place it in the stove to bring them to a boil. Alright, so I'm going to set my stove on high heat and we're just going to wait for that to come to a boil and let our tomatoes and chile serranos soften. Alright, so after 7 minutes, this is what our tomatoes look like. So now we're just going to turn it off and remove them from the heat. And you can remove all the water if you want. We're going to need about half a cup of water, so you don't want to get rid of all of the water completely. Okay, so while that's cooling down, we're just going to start working on our potatoes. Okay, so I'm just going to peel my potatoes. And you can use 2 to 3 potatoes. I love potatoes, so for me, the more the better. This is a bad potato. Alright, so after we peel the potatoes, we're going to cut them in small cubes. And I mean, you can cut them as big as you want, but they cook faster when they're smaller. And because we're going to cook it with our meat, we don't want them to take very long. And I just lost them. Alright, so once we have our potatoes all cut up into little cubes, we're going to give them a quick rinse. Alright, so now we can start cooking. Alright, so in my blender, I'm going to add my tomatoes, the chile serranos, the garlic clove, our half a cup of water, and the cilantro. You can add a little bit of salt, but I'm still going to season my meat and the potatoes, so I don't want my food to be super salty, so I'm just going to wait. So now we're just going to blend until we have our smooth sauce. Alrighty, so once we have it done, we can start cooking our meat and potatoes. Alright, so in a large frying pan, I'm going to set it on medium-high heat. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil, and I'm just going to wait for that to heat up, and then we're going to add our onions. Alright, so once our oil is hot, I'm going to add my onions. And we're going to cook them until they turn a translucent color. Alright, so once our onions are translucent, we're going to add our meat. I'm going to add the cumin, the garlic salt, a little bit of salt, and black pepper on the meat. So now I'm just going to break it down and cook our meat until all of our meat has turned brown. Alright, so once our meat has turned to a brown color, we're going to add our potatoes. And now we're just going to wait until our potatoes have softened. So that takes about 5 to 8 minutes. And then after that, we're going to add our chile. Alright guys, so after 5 minutes, your potatoes should be soft. If you check them, they should be pretty soft. So now, right now is the perfect time to check for any oil. If you need drained any oil, right now is the perfect time to remove it. Alrighty, so now I'm just going to add my Chile sauce. And I'm going to add another half a cup of water in the blender. Just shake it and add it all. And I'm going to be topping my sopes with this, so I don't want it to be super juicy. But if you want to add more water, that's going to be optional, up to you. Okay, so right now you want to check it for salt. And if it needs more salt, right now is the perfect time to add it. So I'm just going to grab a piece of meat. So mine needs a little bit of salt. Where's my salt? And let me tell you, that smells delicious. Alrighty, so I'm just going to lower down the heat on low heat. I'm going to cover it and let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes or until our potatoes are fully cooked. Alright, so it's been 15 minutes, so now we're just going to make sure that our potatoes are fully cooked. Just give it a quick mix. And I like to grab the biggest potato that I see to test it on that one. Where's the biggest potato? Do you see it? Let's grab that one. No? So just make sure that it's fully cooked, and it is. As you can see, super soft. So now our ground beef with green chile is done. So now we can start working on our sopes. So turn it off and set it to the side. Okay guys, so now to make our sopes, we're going to mix our MASECA, our flour, our baking powder, our salt, and I'm using 2 teaspoons, but that's gonna be up to your liking. So now I'm just going to mix it, and this is how you try it for salt. Like right now, after you mix it well, you can grab a little tiny bit of your masa, and that's how you taste it for salt. And you don't want your masa to be too salty, because remember, you still got salt in your food on the what you're gonna top them with. Okay, so once that's mixed, we're going to add our oil, our vegetable oil. So just starts mixing it. Okay, and now we're just going to slowly add our water. And the water, make sure that it is warm. And just add it little by little. So just mix your dry masa with your wet masa and start mixing it. Alright, so now we're just going to knead it until all of our masa is nice and soft. And it's nicely combined all together. You're gonna know when your masa is ready once you're able to put it together in a ball and it stays like that. You see how it don't break down? Then your masa is ready. Okay, so now we can start working on our sopes. Alright guys, so to make our sopes, I'm just going to grab extra water. And that's just going to be so I can dip my hands after making the sope. Working with MASECA is just easier when your hands are wet. Alright, so we're just going to grab some masa as big of a baseball. And we're just going to make a little ball. Start rotating it, just like that. Okay, make it as even as you can. And then we're just going to press it with our hands, just like if you're making tortillas. Okay, so just like that, so you can stay in a circle. And just flatten it back and forth. Clap your hands, rotate it, just like that. And it's slowly going to expand. So sopes are to be a little thicker than a tortilla. Okay, just like that. And I'm just going to start to create my little edge, curve my edge. Just press it down like that and start making that little, how do you say that?
Pocket.
So we're going to start to make a little pocket. So I like to pinch it, just like that. And I know some people put them in the comal first before frying them. Me, I just go directly to the frying. And right now is the perfect time to set your oil. Set your frying pan with the oil so like that it can be hot enough to throw our sopes in. So just make sure that it's going around. You know, you're just pressing down and pinching. So use your thumb and your index finger. Okay, and see how it's going to start creating it, and just go deep because you want, you know, so you like that your meat doesn't fall over the place and it doesn't become a tostada. And just try to make them as even as possible. Okay, so that's one sope down. Okay, let's work on the next one. Alright guys, so once your oil is hot enough, we are ready to cook our sopes. So I have it set on low, medium, just because I don't want my oil to be super hot, where when I throw my sopes in, just the outside is going to cook. And I'm going to throw them in facing down. And as soon as it turns golden color, we're going to flip it over. So flip it over, and now we're just going to let it cook the bottom. And once the bottom is golden color, that's how we know that our sopa is done. So this one's done, and as you can see the color. Now we're just going to drain it in paper towels to drain all the excess oil, and we're just going to repeat the process until we're fully done cooking our sopas. Alright guys, so once our sopas are done, we are ready to serve. So I'm going to start by adding some beans, some refried beans. You can add as much as you like. We're going to add our ground beef with green chile. And I love the potatoes and just everything. So make sure we have enough of this. Okay, and then I'm going to add some lettuce. You need some lettuce, some tomatoes, some cilantro and onion. I love onion. Some aguacatito, some avocado. And you know, the toppings, you can add whatever you like, whatever you prefer. That's what you're gonna add. I'm going to add some queso fresco. Look at that beauty. Some crema. And of course, some more salsa. And we are ready to enjoy this delicious sope. You ready? I'm ready. Alrighty guys, and now for the best part. Yes, I am ready. You ready? Okay, so let's do this. And of course, you know, you can get fancy and use your fork and knife, but here, we're just going to dig in. Ready?
Wait.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Pizza. One looks like a pizza.
It looks like a pizza, huh? It's a Mexican pizza.
Dirty?
No. Okay, ready? Cheers.
Cheers. Mm. Mm.
Mmm.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Super delicious. Yeah? Just can never go wrong with the sope. It's the best. You like it? You like it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Can never go wrong. Let's do this. Let's go sit down and enjoy it. Grab the Cokes and eat.
Yeah.
Alrighty guys, and there you have it, my super easy and delicious sopes with ground beef and green salsa. I hope you guys had enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and if you recreate this recipe, please don't forget to tag me on any of my social medias, and if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button so you guys can be part of our family. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, no, no. Eres perfecta mujer, de la cabeza a los pies. Tú pasas de mi nivel, tú tienes el piquete. De la forma que tú besas, mami, más simétrica que un origami. De la forma que tú besas, mami, más simétrica que un origami. Eres perfecta.